As I pushed away from the shore and out onto Lake Rogan, I really had no idea what lay ahead. Oh, well, that's been a hard paddle so far. Yes, I'm on Rogan and I've got a headwind, surprisingly, and it is actually quite stiff. So that is, yeah, it's very wavy. Canoe's been bouncing around, getting airborne at the front, and I can feel the whole canoe flexing under me. It's a little unnerving. Yeah, so I've got to go right around this corner. Quite a long way actually. And eventually I'll go right down to the southern tip, which is right over there. Just in case the worst happens, I'm just looking around to see whether there's anywhere here where I could at least set up camp. Nearly level with this part, and if you go around that corner then that takes you to the Roa and Norway. You can see how rough it is. Look, yeah, I'm not going down this, definitely not. My canoe is over there on the end of those rocks. Right, I've been stamping around there fishing for nearly 2 hours. What has happened is the wind has dropped significantly, so I'm going to quickly get stuff packed up and get back on the water. Right, well that didn't work out terribly well. A couple of big waves and the wind just took me onto some rocks, so I got slightly beached, but I mean, no harm done. I managed to jump out onto the rocks and, you know, get everything off as it were. But the other thing is in the melee I lost my bloody microphone again. I had it clipped on my life jacket and it just flicked off, landed in the water. So just live to tell the tale, and B, take that as a lesson not to take liberties, because this place will bite you back. I found a beach, which is quite handy because I do feel like I am marooned at the moment. It has calmed down enough. I think it's 10 to 6. It's the calmest I've seen it for a long while, so I think I'm gonna push on. I hope I'm making the right decision. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday morning, and yeah, so far my Rogan experience hasn't got off to a great start. I did set off yesterday evening as planned, just before 7. But I was coming round here and it was just ridiculous. The wind picked up again and I was really worried about capsizing the canoe. So I set the alarm for 5:30. It's now 6:10, just turned, and I'm going to try and make some headway whilst it's calm. And let's hope it keeps this way for a while. Right, I've made it. Made it to the wind shelter. 7:30. And there's no one else here. Oh, that was quite a strong paddle. I am not used to paddling on large lakes, that's for sure. I mean, prior to this trip, probably the biggest thing I've been on is Hickman Broad, which is obviously little comparison. So yeah, so all in all, it's been a rather humbling experience so far. But I think I'm starting to get the grips of it a bit, because as the conditions are at the moment, if I get to the end, then all the way back up the other side, it's A, going to be a tailwind, and B, I should be on the leeward side, because coming up this side I am in the full force of everything. So this is obviously the worst side I could possibly be on. Yes, I apologise for the lack of canoeing footage on this section, but given yesterday's experiences, I have packed all my camera gear away. It's all in a dry bag, sort of safely tucked up. And yeah, I should probably, I'll get it out maybe a bit later on today. Oh, I am progressing further south. Yeah, see, I found a nice little beach. Because I've been up on my knees virtually the whole time, crouching, just to keep my weight lower in the canoe and more stable, better balance. My legs were getting a bit stiff, so I've just stopped here. Wow, I have reached the most southern tip of Lake Rogan. It's been a paddle. It's been a big paddle. Oh dear. headwind all the way, and what feels like a fairly strong undercurrent as well. So I'm now at the wind shelter. You can see in the distance. Look at this view. This is what the middle of nowhere feels like. Amazing. Yes, here's the wind shelter. These are all much for muchness, but they all come with a fire pit. You've got a nice grill there to put your steak on or your fish. Selection of wood. There's a big heap of wood here as well, which you can cut up and use. That's all standing up so that it keeps dry. And I've not seen this before, but wow. Well, just in case it's a bit cool, there's a really nice hut here. Ah, hello, I'm back. Right, I'm now leaving the wind hut, safe with the lake. So as for paddling at the moment, it rather feels like somebody's just strapped the 5 horsepower motor to the back. I'm not putting a lot of effort in, and we are ripping along. Quite amazing terrain in this area. I'm sure you would appreciate it with that camera, but maybe I'll stop up here a bit further and get a few photos. Looks like we're in the middle of a lake. All of a sudden you'll come up with a section where there's just loads of rocks. And there'll be some rocks breaking the surface. Yeah, you'll just be paddling along, next minute your paddle's banging onto the rocks. Quite bizarre. Just under 2.5 hours later, I'm at the cabin I want to spend the night at. Bredåsjön. That was a good paddle with the tailwind. I mean, it really helped massively. It got a bit exciting at times, but yeah, I've never surfed in a canoe before, so that was a bit of a new experience. But there's a river there, so there's just a little rapid with the water rushing in and a footbridge. Yeah, but look at this place. And yeah, nicely decorated. I mean, this is like paradise, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. And then here's the cabin, complete with deer antlers, loads of ornaments, saw, chopper. Just chillax. And I'm wondering whether there's any trout in this stream. Yeah, so that's just a natty little saw really. It doesn't weigh a damn sight. And I thought I'd bring it along. So Ray, what are we cooking tonight? Well, I've still got half an onion left from the other day. So I'm going to use this up. And I've got some good old corned beef. So I'm going to mash that in with that and sort of make a bit of a corned beef hash. Does this ever happen to anybody else? Particularly careful to make sure it had the bloody key, which it did. What I wasn't prepared for is whatever machine has put the gauges in hasn't done it right. The onions and the garlic in. and I very finely chopped up some potatoes, just only one. And the hardest thing on corned beef was working out what bits should be in there and what bits shouldn't be in there. Some really nice sea salt, nice sprinkling of oregano. There we go. Yeah, it's been a hell of a day today, really, because last night I had to abandon ship again, so I had 3 times I had to abandon the journey basically, and yeah, and I was just found somewhere, it wasn't ideal, but anyway, I found somewhere to set up. But when I was lying in bed and I could hear the waves crashing against the shore, and I could hear the wind blowing, and I really didn't think I'd even get down here today, to be honest. It was very still. Well, it wasn't a mill pond, but it was, as far as Lake Rogen goes, it probably was a mill pond. I don't know whether that ever becomes a mill pond, to be honest. But, so no, I was bloody dead lucky. I mean, in some respects, that would have been nice to spend the night in the wind shelter down the south. But yeah, if the wind changes against me, I'm gonna be stuck. I didn't want to be stuck right at the bottom for God knows how long. Not being able to get back. More confident in the canoe today, because it did get quite choppy at times on the way down there. I had a very strong headwind. I won't lie and say that there's been times where I have been bloody bloody worried, because if I capsize that thing, it's going to be bloody bad news. That is pretty bloody tasty. I'll leave it in the bag. We hope that by tomorrow night that would have doubled. Bushcraft TV. Oh, my poor feet have been in these boots and these sealskin socks ever since I left home. Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Ever since we left Canoeing. Fresh as a daisy. But this is, bloody hell, this is a fantastic spot, isn't it? I can't imagine where the nearest person to me now is. Yeah, no. Oh dear. I did meet these German guys outside the Rogan, the pack rafting boys, and they're going up this, and where I'm heading next is where they were heading. I need to go outdoors bags and come in the front of them. Might as well have a little camp tour. Fire and cabin, my gear. There's the myriad of footpaths lead from here. Got the alley boy there. Up here was my regular sleeping stuff, so yeah, so that's all there. I use these whoopee slings and with these little tree huggers. These work really well because that stops any water running down those. And I got the old Alp-Kit 400 in there. What else have we got? There isn't much headroom in this shelter. This is the lowest one I think I've seen yet. So we got the saw and horse. Lots of ribbons in the. I mean, this is a bit of a samurai thing, so I don't quite know what somebody's put them all there, unless this is all done for. Might be done for luck. Let's hope so. And then we come down here. We got the little bridge. So I'll be able to listen to this all night. This will remind me of when I was on the Star Wars trip. Absolutely lovely stream. This runs all the way down from that lake, Bredåsjön. Thanks for joining me today. Good night. I'll see you in the morning. Morning, Wednesday morning. Welcome to day 5 of Ray's Big Paddle, and then we'll see about setting sail and see what the mighty Rogan has in store for us today. The terrain is all much of a muchness really. I mean, it's all pine trees of varying ages, and obviously lots of boulders and rocks, and a lot of moss and lichen. Sort of like the bulk of it really. Yeah, a bit of variation depending on what area you're in. Sometimes it's just more rock, sometimes it's more lichen. That's the end of the lake on the Norwegian side, so that's what I want to get to. Right, I'll very quickly set up camp because there's some really black clouds up there and the wind had picked up quite a lot, so I was thinking we might cop a storm. So apart from the tarp is wringing wet from last night, I want to try it anyway. What have we got up here? I've had one little walk up here already. It's quite a nice little peninsula actually. I think this could be a good fishing spot. Oh. Yes, so I was very tempted to string my hammock up down here, but it's a little bit more exposed to the wind. As you can see, now we're down here, you can now feel how much it is blowing. But yeah, there's some nice trees here. This would have been a lovely spot if it was calm. And when it calms down tonight, I might regret not being here, because if I had my hammock just here, that would be a lovely view, wouldn't it? Quite a few. They are slim pickings, but oh, I'm hiding behind a tree stump. trying to keep moving at the bloody wind. Spread it around a bit. Oh. And a moose. Well, obviously I haven't seen a bear, which is just checking. Yeah, which is not surprising because, you know, I think they keep as far away from the humans as humanly possible. Yes. No, I think they just keep themselves out of the way, and who could blame them? Anyway, I'm going to enjoy my pancake. Oh, look at that. Pancake nuts and almond butter. Not ideal canoeing conditions. Again. I think once you can see the whites on the tops of the waves, that's good a time as any to jack it in. I don't like the look of this sky. It has gone very, very black all of a sudden. I've just got a fire going. Hopefully I can cook some tea before it starts to bloody rain. So what's cooking in the camp kitchen tonight? Right. Well, I have some sardines and anchovies. Some whole wheat fusilli. Well, I didn't catch any fish, but I've got the next best thing. Sardines and anchovies, which could only be improved by less smoking or salt and vinegar, salt, pepper I should say. Oh, smoke gets in your eyes, bloody hell. Oh, you move a bit nearer to you. Al dente. Oh, just a job. Ended up being quite a late tea really, with all this faffing around with fishing and then trying to get a bloody fire going. That had calmed right down, but hopefully it's a bit calmer in the morning. Oh, smoke in your eyes. Hopefully that stone has warmed up a bit. Looks quite warm, doesn't it? Right. So with any luck, that will turn into something edible. Right then, let's have a look and see. I think what I might do is I'll just stick a bit of salt on this side. Oh, look at that. As long as my stone doesn't run out of heat, we'll be alright. Well, typically, that's just started to thrash down the rain, so I've brought my hot stone with me. That's a brilliant hand warmer. That is not too terrible at all. Yeah, a little bit of a gooey middle, but give it another 10 minutes on here and that'll be fine.